So, yes, these are going to be the most important 30 minutes of your life. How do you feel?
Sir, I'm very excited, and also there's a slight pressure to perform better. So it is a mixed bag of emotions, but I'll try to do better.
So, yes, I think you are too young to be an IAS officer. Don't you think so? You just graduated in 2023. So, are you a commodity or you'll be a liability that we'll have to spoon feed you?
Sir, I'll try my best to not be a liability. And since I have this age factor, so I still have more time to learn upon if I am lacking on certain things. So, and sir, that I have done my academic background has been a little better. So I'm sure that I'll try to do in the services also. And since I have time on my side, so I'll try my best.
I think you are over ambitious. You are calling yourself better. खुद ही अपनी तारीफ करवा रहे हो आप. What do you think?
Uh, Certainly not, sir, but one has to be optimistic and confident about oneself also. So we cannot, if oneself is only feeling underconfident and not sure about his or her abilities, then sir, that will reflect on their performance also. So I try to be just as confident as I can be.
So, yes, you have a wonderful name. What does it mean?
Sir, Suryash means Sundar ho jiska yash, as in the person who achieves good fortune, great glory. So, person like that.
Is India a Suyash country?
Certainly, sir, India has always been a Suyash country, and it is always trying to be a better Suyash country, as we are going to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And, sir, we'll climb upon all the stairs.
But you people are dirting the Ganga. How can you become Viksit? Recent report of CPCB has been pathetic. Ganga has all sorts of impurities. It's not even good for taking bath, let alone drinking the Ganga Jal. I'm very worried about it. Suyash, tell me.
Sir, the CPCB report is contested by the UPPCB report also, because there are some of the mismatches in the areas where the readings are taken. So, sir, we have to look at that angle also. And certainly, sir, that there has been some lapses by the pilgrims. That is, they have not followed the proper hygiene standards, and some lapses by the government also that the Namami Gange program and other programs are not being implemented to that efficiency. However, sir, we are trying best, and there are many applications which are being done in the Mahakumbh area to clean the water and clean the Ganga per se.
Are you a quota product, Suyash?
No, sir, I'm secondary quota. That is Kanpur itself has a quota like Kakadev area is there. So I have done my coaching from Kakadev area.
So, are there suicides happening in Kanpur also, just as quota?
Sir, actually, the scale of students in Kakadev is not that much as there is in the quota. So the suicides are there, but they are very less in comparison to quota.
So I'm making you the DM of Kota. Recently also many DMs have worked there, but they haven't been able to prevent the suicides by normal steps and all those instructions and all. What different would you do, Suyash?
Sir, first we have to pinpoint the problem. That is the problem students face. That is, it is from the both angles, sir. First is the academic burden which the students face due to competition and rat race, the so-called rat race for the particular exam. And second is, sir, the familiar and the pressure from the family side. So, sir, we have to first of all set up various counseling stations by the government. The district magistrate will have to set up those that the counseling provided is given in a better way so that students don't feel this burden which they constantly have living in this atmosphere. And secondly, sir, we have to do the collaborative effort in managing the overall vicinity of these students.
I
Like
think
there
the
are
main issue. So I'm also a quota product. You are not. You are a secondary quota. I'm a first generation quota 15 years ago. So what I felt was that if I did not perform well in a test, I was scaled down. My batch went rogue, and that quality of teaching also it was declined, and I could never perform better. So has the government done something on this part? And do you agree that this is the main issue? The performance pressure, and then you are scaled down in your batch, and then the good teachers don't come your way, all that. What do you think? Does it happen in Kanpur as well?
Certainly, sir, this is one of the major issue because, sir, once a student has been downgraded to a lower batch, so sir, the confidence which he or she has gets also down. So, sir,
Hmm.
we shouldn't do that. However, instead of this downgrading the batches, we can focus primarily on those students through the means of teachers' assistants or the online counseling sessions,
Hmm.
so as to they also don't feel bad by getting downgraded to a lower batch, and the performance can also be increased. And sir, as far as
Is
government
coaching necessary? Does that not represent the failure of the school system?
Certainly, sir, Indian education system does have some of the prominent lacunas, primarily the syllabus of the school system and the rote learning which is being promoted in the schools. Whereas, sir, the competitive exams like the JEE and NEET, they demand kind of analytical and analysis-based learning, which, sir, is not being provided in the schools, and thus we see the emergence of coaching industry, sir. So we have to work on both these
So,
angles.
Yash, are you a good engineer?
Sir, as far as my practice is considered, I haven't practiced any engineering in the industry. However, sir, theoretically, I consider myself to be a decent engineer because I have read some of the theoretical aspects.
So why political science? It's totally a 180-degree turn.
Sir, the primary reason was that chemical engineering is not in the optional segment of UPSC. And sir, secondly, political science and international relations is kind of a very dynamic and democratic subject. Its syllabus is very vast and very, uh, I think that thought-provoking,
Why
which
not
is
chemistry optional then? Chemistry is an optional.
certainly the chemistry is optional. Sir, because I have to go for this services in the UPSC, which are basically ground-based and they involve interaction with the society. And sir, having studied science for almost whole of my life, I thought that I should venture into the social science domain also, so as to get a better hold of how the Indian society works.
Suresh, are you aware of the heat island effect?
Uh, yes, sir, I am aware
Tell
of that.
me. Hmm.
Sir, heat island effect is basically uh, the urban areas which have the modern infrastructure, the cement infrastructure or the bitumen infrastructure. So these things have low albedo, sir. So the heat which is coming from the sun, it does not get reflect that much, and
Hmm.
these modern infrastructure absorb that, and thus the temperature rises. So, sir,
Hmm.
this is primarily what.
So, coaching summers are coming. Can you do something as a chemical engineer? Buildings के लिए can you suggest something for the government as well as the public sector buildings as well as the private buildings also? I mean the commercial front. Can we reduce some air conditioning cost? And by default, we are also saving the environment in doing so. Please suggest something.
Sir, as far as air conditioners are considered, India is still lacking on that front, sir, because only 6 to 7% citizens have air conditioners. But sir, we have to employ the modern methods, like we can use vertical plantation of trees or the grasses on the buildings.
Hmm.
So that would provide cooling, sir, and not the focus on excess air conditioners. Secondly, sir, we have to design the high performance buildings, so that is the HPBs are basically those buildings which involve an integrative style of construction. That is the civil engineer, chemical engineer, electrical
Hmm.
engineers, all are involved to make these kind of buildings so as to make them less polluting and less.
Are you aware of the MC Mehta case?
Yes, sir, I have read about that.
Tell me.
Uh, The MC Mehta case primarily introduced the concept of absolute liability in comparison to the strict liability. Uh, and sir, some of the background was there that the Bhopal gas tragedy happened, then the oleum gas leak in Delhi happened. So, sir, the Honorable Supreme Court was pretty much concerned about these events, and thus the MC Mehta case was there to uphold the environmental laws in a better way.
Are the tanneries still running in Kanpur?
Yes, sir, there are approximately 400 tanneries which are running around the area of Kanpur.
So what about the pollution and the heavy metal pollution there in the ground? Is there
Uh,
something being done?
Sir, there has been a recent report also that heavy metal pollution is very much on the rise in the
Hmm.
Kanpur and the surrounding vicinity. And sir, as far as the actions are considered, sir, many STPs, that is sewage treatment plants, and CETPs, that is the common effluent treatment plants, have been constructed and they are being done so. However, the problem is, sir, that the Kanpur still lacks the integrative solid waste management. That is the waste from houses and waste from tanneries gets mixed, and this is what, sir, causes the major problem. So things need to be done on that front also.
Demis Hassabis was in news recently from your fraternity.
I'm sorry, sir.
Demis Hassabis, are you aware of the Nobel Prize in Chemistry? Who got
Uh,
it and why he got it?
Sorry, sir. I'm aware of the quantum dots one and not the recent one.
Okay, not this one. So they got the Nobel Prize for predicting the structure of proteins, virtually all the proteins, through the AI model. Just read about it. I'll give you the name of the
Certainly,
model as well. I think it was AlphaFold 2. वो मॉडल था.
certainly, sir. I
कोई
heard
बात नहीं.
about
This
that.
is being recorded. आप इसको बाद में देख लेना. I need to ask you many more questions. Okay, recently the Indian spices were in controversy with respect to the foreign policy as well. मसाले.
Yes, sir.
कानपुर
Yes,
के
sir.
मसाले भी फेमस हैं, यूपी के मसाले भी फेमस हैं, एंड इंडियन स्पाइसेस वर आल्सो इन न्यूज़. दे वर इन कंट्रोवर्सी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू सिंगापुर, यूरोप. Can you throw some light?
Sir, the primary controversy, as far as I can recall, was that the Indian spices had the presence of ethylene oxide in them, which is a carcinogenic agent. So, sir,
Hmm.
that was the primary issue which the many countries like Singapore have called upon India and to reduce the ethylene oxide level on these spices.
So whose failure was it? Can you name the agency who's
Uh,
responsible for ensuring safety of food standards in India?
Yes, sir. Sir, FSSAI is there, which should have done its job better. And sir, Codex Alimentarius commissions are also there. So, sir, we have to work upon that front also.
What is monosodium glutamate? MSG.
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read about this.
So Maggie was in controversy because of the presence of more than permissible levels of MSG. मैगी रिकॉल हुई थी. और
Yes,
जो
sir.
मैगी मसाला के जो प्याज थे ना, वो पता है कहाँ
Yes,
के खेतों से लिए गए थे? आपके यूपी के खेतों से लिए गए थे. और उनमें हैवी मेटल्स थी और उनमें एमएसजी का भी एडिशन था. सो मैगी कंट्रोवर्सी वाज इन न्यूज और मसाले हैव ऑलवेज बीन इन न्यूज. टेल मी अबाउट द फेयरनेस क्रीम्स.
yes, sir. Sir, they are creating kind of a consumerist culture, I'll say, and they are promoting racism also in a way that the if one is white, then one is supreme. And so this is the social angle. However, sir, from the economics point of view, the cosmetic industry is very much on the rise because we are seeing that there is an obsession with white skin. So public is focusing on whitening creams very much.
I also heard about the presence of mercury in these creams. What will it do to you? The skin absorbs mercury, I know this.
Yes, sir. Sir, there was this news. However, sir, I'm not exactly able to recall this.
मर्क्यूरी से क्या होगा? नेफ्रोटिक डिजीजेस हो जाएंगी, किडनी की किडनी टॉक्सिसिटी बढ़ जाएगी बस, अगर वो एब्जॉर्ब करेगा. सिंपल, ये चीज बोल देना. आर यू अवेयर ऑफ गोल्डीन?
Yes, sir.
GOLDENE? Yeah, tell me what is it?
Sir, it is kind of a very thin nano structure,
Hmm.
which has very good tensile and strength properties. And,
Hmm.
sir, sorry, sir, I'll have to recall this more
It is a
properly.
it is a new age catalyst. Read about it. न्यूज में था अभी.
Yes, sir,
देखो,
it was.
ग्राफीन क्या होता है? ओके, लेट्स एक साइंटिफिक वाला जुगाड़ लगाते हैं. तू भी इंजीनियर है, मैं भी इंजीनियर हूँ. ग्राफीन क्या होता है? पता है ना क्या होता है? क्या
Yes.
होता है ग्राफीन?
Sir, that is also a structure, carbon-based structure, which
एक
is
सिंगल
very much.
लेयर. सी व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इज ये बोलना है कि सर सिंगल लेयर है एटम्स का.
Yes, sir.
तो गोल्ड का सिंगल लेयर इज गोल्डीन.
Yes, sir.
सिंपल. अगर कार्बन का सिंगल लेयर इज ग्राफीन, तो गोल्ड का सिंगल लेयर इज गोल्डीन. व्हाट इज प्रिसिजन मेडिसिन?
Sir, precision medicine have more specificity in them. That is, they are used for more specific target, and they produce the intended health effects of that particular issue on which they are focused upon.
Have you prepared about green hydrogen?
Yes, sir, I have read about that.
Tell me something about it.
Sir, as far as the production of green hydrogen goes, sir, it is produced through renewable energy
Hmm.
via the process of electrolysis of water.
Hmm.
And sir, the byproduct is only water, so no emissions are there. And secondly, sir, India is promoting the green hydrogen mission, and the target is 5 metric million tons of production. However, sir, the issue is there that the production cost is very much high, as in at least 4 times more than the normal hydrogen production or the gray hydrogen production. And sir, the
Yash,
electrolyzer
there's a
is
new
also.
greenfield semiconductor plant coming up in India in Dholera, Gujarat. मैं तुम्हें
Yes,
बता
sir.
रहा हूँ, एक आंकड़ा दे रहा हूँ कि एक सेमीकंडक्टर प्लांट इज कमिंग अप इन इंडिया इन Dholera स्मार्ट सिटी इन गुजरात. So
Yes, sir.
Suryash, what would be the challenges for Tata? Major challenges specific to the semiconductor fabrication.
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, would be the technological aspect because India is still a new in this field of semiconductor.
Hmm.
So, sir, we will face some of the skilled engineers or the technological
Hmm.
aspect. And secondly, sir, the semiconductor industry is still dominated by China because the critical mineral of silicon, we import almost all the silicon from in China. So, sir, the
Technology,
supply chain.
second raw material, third.
Yes. Sir, third would be the sir, funding issue is also there because
Fourth,
semiconductor
okay,
requires
पैसा भी आ गया. चौथा,
sir, fourth would be the sir competition from the global stage
नो.
because
तो अगर सेमीकंडक्टर का तुम्हें क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, भैया इट रिक्वायर्स अल्ट्रा प्योर अल्ट्रा क्लीन वाटर,
yes, sir,
एंड
water
गुजरात तो
purification.
पहले ड्राई स्टेट है. एक तो वैसे भी ड्राई है, वैसे भी ड्राई है, पानी नहीं है वहां पर. तो या तो
Certainly.
आपको समुंदर से डीसैलिनाइज करना पड़ेगा बहुत सारा पानी, या फिर
Yes,
आप
sir.
नेचुरल वाटर के रिसोर्सेज को आप डाइवर्ट करेंगे. सो
Yes,
देर
sir.
आर अ
That
लॉट ऑफ फिजिबिलिटी कंसर्न्स देयर, बिकॉज
yes,
ये चीज नहीं सोची गई है या सोची गई है. चीप लैंड को देखकर टाटा ने इसको एक्वायर करने की कोशिश करी, ऐसा
yes,
कहा जा रहा है. ओके, यू आर अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस एंड यू आल्सो प्ले बैडमिंटन. आर यू
yes,
अवेयर ऑफ
sir.
द टर्म शटल डिप्लोमेसी?
Yes, sir. I have read about that.
टेल मी.
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not exactly sure, so I'd like to
ओके,
read
इसको
more
भी
about
देसी
that.
तरीके से जुगाड़ करते हैं. इंजीनियर है
Yes,
तू
sir.
भी, मैं भी. कैसे करें?
Yes, sir.
बैडमिंटन कौन कौन से देश खेलते हैं?
Sir,
बहुत फेमस, बहुत खूंखार देश हैं जो खेलते हैं.
China, Malaysia, India is also on the rise.
चाइना,
Spain is there.
मलेशिया, जापान, कोरिया,
Japan.
ये जो
Yes, sir.
पूल स्नूकर खेलते हैं, टेबल टेनिस खेलते हैं, और ये सब खेलते हैं. ठीक है. अब इन देशों में अगर मैंने रिलेशंस इंप्रूव करने हैं तो मैं क्या
Yes,
करूंगा? अपने बैडमिंटन प्लेयर्स वहां पर भेज दूंगा, उनके बैडमिंटन प्लेयर्स यहाँ बुला लूंगा.
yes,
डायलॉग
sir.
स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, क्योंकि
Yes,
इनमें कोल्ड वॉर राइवलरीज थी, कैंप्स बने हुए थे. कोल्ड वॉर में देयर वाज अ परसीव्ड अमेरिका चाइना पाकिस्तान एक्सेस, और उधर से
yes,
रशिया इंडिया वियतनाम एक्सेस. वियतनाम इज अ पार्ट ऑफ आसियान. एक दूसरे से जलते थे ये, एक दूसरे को.
yes,
वहां पर कम्युनिज्म भी फैल रहा था, अमेरिका भी आ रहा था, वो भी आ रहा था, कोल्ड वॉर के कई सारे फ्रंटियर्स थे. तो भैया, दिस इज वन ऑफ द थिंग्स.
yes,
इवन
sir.
क्रिकेट डिप्लोमेसी भी यूज हुआ है.
The diplomacy. Yes, sir.
इंडिया पाकिस्तान में भी चलता है.
Yes, sir.
मिल्खा सिंह को भी भेजा था जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने, भाग मिल्खा भाग में ही, है ना. और उसके बाद और भी, अब भी चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी हो रहा है, तो जॉइंट उनका आपस में वो हो रहा है सबका. ये चीजें बोल देनी है यार.
Yes, sir.
एक टर्म होती है पिंग पोंग डिप्लोमेसी,
Sir,
टेबल टेनिस के लिए
ping
होती
pong.
है.
Yes,
वो टेबल टेनिस, वो टीटी के चेस डिप्लोमेसी,
sir. Diplomacy. Yes,
वो
yes,
भी
sir.
कोल्ड वॉर के टाइम कार्लसन वर्सेस अमेरिकन.
Yes,
ये
sir,
था.
man.
बस ये चीजें हैं डिप्लोमेसी में. स्पोर्ट्स का यूज बिल्कुल है सर.
Yes, sir.
You are a sports person. Should India be a दावेदार for the next Olympics? India is demanding कि 36 वाला 10 साल बाद वाला Olympics हो, but we are not even winning even double digit gold medals. So should we demand or we should leave it? Tell me.
Sir, as far as the demand is considered, India is uh, demanding that, and we can fulfill that also, sir. But the challenges are there that, sir, primarily our sports funding is skewed towards cricket. So, sir, we
Hmm.
have to balance that before we host the Olympics. Secondly, sir, we have to construct some of the Olympic villages. That is the players which are going to come here. So, for their living conditions and the playing condition or the training aspects, we have to develop some of the Olympic villages. And sir, thirdly, the funding would also be an issue because the recent Olympics which have been held, they needed approximately 15 to 20 billion dollars. So, sir, we'll have to look upon that aspect also. Sir, if we try to solve all these three and some of the other issues, then certainly, sir, India can hold the 2036 Olympics.
तुम ये बोलो कि सर चैलेंजेस हैं, बट दीज आर वेरी माइन्यूट चैलेंजेस. एक इंडिया जैसे देश को 10-15 बिलियन डॉलर खर्चने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. 3.7 ट्रिलियन वी आर, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल.
Yes,
और उस टाइम तक और ग्रो करेंगे हम.
yes, sir.
आप बोलो कि सर अगर मेडल नहीं भी आ रहे तो ओलंपिक का इंतजार करते 10 साल में मोटिवेशन आएगी कि
यस
हमने
सर।
अपने देश में परफॉर्म करना है और मेडल्स इंक्रीज होने का बहुत बेहतरीन चांस मिलेगा अगर हम ओलंपिक्स होस्ट करते हैं। तो हमें
यस
ग्रैब करनी चाहिए अपॉर्चुनिटी। जैसे इफ वी कुड कम अप विद G20, व्हाई नॉट ओलंपिक्स?
सर।
अगर हम कॉमनवेल्थ करा सकते हैं, G20 करा सकते हैं, एशियन गेम्स करा सकते हैं सर। अब हम विकसित हो रहे हैं तो हम G20 भी करवा ले, ये ओलंपिक्स भी करवा लेंगे। इनफैक्ट हमारे लोगों को तो मोटिवेशन मिलेगा सर।
सर्टेनली सर।
आप ऐसा बोलिएगा वहां पर। ओके, हाउ डू यू सी मिस्टर डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प 2.0? इज ही अ चैलेंज और एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर इंडिया?
Sir, as far as the recent impression goes, sir, President Trump certainly has upended many of the liberal world order rules. So,
हम्म।
sir, that aspect is posing some challenges to India.
हम्म।
However, sir, President Trump's kind of hatred or competition with China, so
हम्म।
that is going to be beneficial for India, as we have seen in the recent PM Modi and President Trump visit also,
हम्म।
that India has gained on some of the aspects like defense. And sir, certainly President Trump focus will be on the Indo-Pacific to counter China's rise, as
हम्म।
he is also quoting Russia so as to halt the China's rise. So India will be beneficial on that aspect also, sir. But
and
sir,
he
certainly
and he
challenges
has
are
a rigid stance on states like Pakistan and terrorism also.
there.
And then you say not just IR, bolo Trump is a businessman, give him business and he'll be happy.
Yes,
एक
will
लालची
be.
बंदे को खुश करना तो बहुत ही आसान है, पैसा
Yes, sir.
दे दो उसको अपॉर्चुनिटी, वेलकम हिम। और
Yes,
बोल भी
sir.
दिया मोदी ने दैट मागा एंड मीगा डू नॉट कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट, वो
Yes,
मेगा
sir.
बन जाता है, बोल दिया मोदी जी ने। तो आप
Yes,
भी यही बोल दो। अब होगा
yes,
नहीं
sir.
होगा हमें नहीं पता, लेकिन बोल तो सकते ही हैं। Why are we not able to sign the FTA with EU?
Sir, we are in the process of signing. However, sir, European Union has very much conditions based on both the tariff and non-tariff barriers
Hmm.
that it restricts very much
Hmm.
the product from the developing countries and India.
Hmm.
So these nitty-gritties are not being able to resolved by
Hmm.
both the countries. However, sir, the discussion is on the rise, and seeing the President Trump's uh, uh, behavior toward the European Union, it certainly is possible that the EU will look for other players, and India is the most prominent one. So we can expect FTA very soon.
Can Trump impact Quad, or Quad will be better in under Trump?
Sir, the chances are certainly of Quad getting better because, sir, the focus of President Trump would be on the Indo-Pacific,
Hmm.
and the Australia, Japan, and India are both all these partners are very in a good relationship. And
Hmm.
sir, recently Japan has also got the concession on tariffs. So, sir, India, President Trump will certainly make Quad more stronger. However, sir, let's see because the economics angle will also need to be considered, and the uh, sporadic nature of President
Who
Trump
needs
is
the free and open Indo-Pacific?
uh, sir, basically the global south is primary contender because the China's BRI is halting the global south progress. And sir, US also needs it because it has many of the naval bases there and the promotion of democracy and human rights. And sir, through economics angle, that Taiwan is very much important for the Europe, for the US, and for the global stage because of semiconductors. So each stakeholder has some or the other interest, sir.
आप वही यूरोप वाली बात भी ऐड करो, बोलो सर इवन जर्मनी, इवन फ्रांस, इवन इटली, इवन यूके हैव देयर ओन free and open Indo-Pacific policy. They have their Indo-Pacific policy with India as a balancer to China. They consider India as a pivotal state when it comes to Indo-Pacific.
Yes,
ठीक है ना? And what is Act East policy? 10 years of Act East. How do you see Act East better than Look East?
Uh, Yes, sir. Sir, Act East policy is basically the continuation of Look East policy, but the continuation is done in a more proactive and more aggressive manner. As
Hmm.
sir, India is interacting more with the extended neighborhood and the neighborhood, like it is interacting with ASEAN, BIMSTEC, and sir, individually also India is interacting with Indonesia, as was recently seen in the Republic Day. And
Hmm.
sir, so it is a more focused and balanced approach rather the previous one was just interacting them and not like endorsing them. This time, the engagement and endorsement both is being done under
So
the act.
विदाउट बीटिंग अराउंड द बुश इन दिस क्वेश्चन, तुम बोलोगे सर लुक ईस्ट में इकोनॉमिक और कल्चरल पार्टनरशिप हमारी थी आसियान के साथ, हमारा
Yes, sir.
एफटीए तभी साइन हुआ था, दैट्स फाइन।
Yes,
अभी एक तो हमने जोग्राफिकल एरिया बढ़ा दिया है,
yes,
मंगोलिया, जापान, कोरिया, इंडो चाइना, इवन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड, पैसिफिक आइलैंड ओशंस, इंडो पैसिफिक, ये सारा आ गया
yes,
इसमें।
sir.
दूसरा सर आप बोलोगे, एक तो डोमेस्टिक एंगल ले आए हम, हमने नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया को गेटवे टू आसियान बना दिया।
Yes, sir.
तीसरा, यस सर, वी आर आउटरीचिंग द नेशंस इन अ मोर प्रोएक्टिव मैनर। चौथा, देयर इज ऑल्सो लॉट ऑफ जियो स्ट्रैटेजी एंड जियो पॉलिटिक्स इन्वॉल्व, क्वाड, ऑकस,
Yes, sir.
ये
Yes,
सब
sir.
चीजें, डिफेंस कोऑपरेशन हो रहा है, डिफेंस एक्सरसाइजेज हो रही हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें हो रही है। सो ये एक, हाँ, रिन्यूड वर्जन है उसका, बेटर वर्जन है आप कह सकते हैं ना, इट इज एन एक्सटेंशन ऑफ इट। व्हाट इज रिफॉर्म्ड मल्टीलेटरलिज्म, सुयश?
Sir, India and the whole global south is giving a call for reformed multilateralism. That is, the sir, present multilateral world order is more West-centric, and considering the rise of China, if China gets successful, it will be Sino-centric, which sir will not be beneficial for India and the whole of global south. So, sir, we are calling for reformed multilateralism, which is more inclusive, democratic, and gives voice to all stakeholders and not just to the hegemonic powers.
Hmm. And what is climate justice?
Sir, climate justice has been the call of India and the global south, that the focus of funding should be by the West and the EU, that is the US and the EU, because they have been the most historical emitting nations. Like the US has contributed 20% to the historical emissions. So, sir, the India and the global south are asking for more funding from these nations, the developed nations,
Are
because
you
we are
aware of
not
the
that much.
India's stance in the COP29?
Yes, sir.
बोलो।
Sir, basically, India was asking for more climate funding, that is approximately 2.4 to 1.3 trillion dollars by 2030 was acceptable.
Hmm.
Both of these things. However, sir, the developed nation have set the cap on 300 billion dollars, and that too by 2035. So that is certainly not acceptable to India. And sir, on the other aspects, India has said that we cannot transition away from these fossil fuels because we need to focus on our economic development also. So we can only phase down, that is slowly, on those aspects.
So has neighborhood policy failed after 10 years?
So certainly not, sir, because the neighborhood diplomacy does not depend only on the India, sir. It is basically also dependent on the domestic policies of the neighboring countries. And sir, if we consider Pakistan, it is primarily a failed state which has more Chinese influence. And sir, similarly, other nations have also involvement of China, and their domestic policies are not that much good. So, sir, it reflects on our neighborhood policy also. However, sir, India is still following the principles of non-reciprocity and is promoting peace and diplomacy.
Has your
Whether
coaching institution not taught you that no neighbor is our friend now, except for Bhutan? I think they taught you wrong. Suyash, what do you say? We board are not impressed by your answer. Come
uh,
again.
yes, sir. Sir, as far as friends are considered, sir, we can't change our neighbors, so we have to focus on building good relationship, and India is doing that, sir. As far as the Sri Lanka is considered, the new president has focused on building good ties with India, and Bhutan is already our good partner. And sir, Bangladesh is also seeing the recent hiccup. Before this, India-Bangladesh relationship was also good, and sir, primarily the divergences in the relations is because of China. So, sir, we have to China and Pakistan, the terrorism angle. So we'll have to deal somehow with this, and India is dealing with that, sir, in the global platforms.
I'm giving you
And
some nuclear warheads, and you are the NSA, and I'm giving you the full authority. Where will you throw those bombs first, Pakistan or China?
sir, I'd like to refrain from throwing these bombs anywhere because, sir, even if both the nations are against India, but the civilians which will be getting the hit from these bombs, they are not they do not have any such role in this. So we cannot take the path of violence, and that too violence from the nuclear bombs. So, sir, first I'll go for diplomacy, and if all the means are like they haven't
Why have
given
we
us any result.
backtracked? Why have we backtracked from our promises to Afghanistan? Earlier, we used to support the Afghan-centric, Afghan-led, and Afghan-owned process. Now we are siding with the Talibanis. We are meeting them on the negotiating table. So have we not, just given a shock to the people of Afghanistan itself and undone all the good deeds which we did?
Sir, primarily our interaction with Afghanistan is based on promoting our national interest. That is, sir, Afghanistan is a very prominent geographically placed nation, as we have many initiatives like INSTC and Chabahar Port. So we need Afghanistan for these and also our interaction with the Central Asia. So, sir, we are doing engagement, but not endorsement of the Talibanese ideology. But, sir, we'll have to engage. And secondly, sir, if we don't, then Pakistan might get a strategic depth against India and Afghanistan, so we have to counter that also, and hence we are interacting with them, sir.
So a Bhagoda premier of a particular neighboring country, Bangladesh, she is giving speeches from your sovereign nation. And she's giving press briefings and speeches, and already our relations are at a depth with Bangladesh now, in the post Hasina Bangladesh, or in the transitioning Bangladesh, or under the temporary Yunus Bangladesh. So how much leverage are we glorifying Hasina too much, or we are treating her as a god, or we should hand her over to Bangladesh? What should we do?
Sir, as far as the legal angle is considered, sir, the extradition treaty allows India to not give Sheikh Hasina ji back to Bangladesh because the issue is primarily political. So, sir, we cannot do that, and we are totally legal in that part. And, sir, second ethical angle is also there because because the life and dignity of Sheikh Hasina ji is on the line, as we have seen in the protest that her dignity, her belongings were primarily damaged. So we have to look on that angle also. And thirdly, sir, we have always had a very good relationship with Hasina ji, so we are upholding that also, while simultaneously working with the present government in the Bangladesh as far as many issues are considered. So, sir, India is doing the
Hmm.
balancing act.
What do you make of the killing of the Nepal student in the KIIT?
Sir, this has become a prominent issue because the India-Nepal relations are already not that on the converging front. So we'll have to look on that angle. And sir, secondly, the curriculum based on the college's curriculum, which kind of does not focus on anti-ragging initiatives. So, sir, that is also a very prominent issue which needs to be handled because the ragging uh, must not be done. And since the student is of the another nationality, so we'll have to prevent such incidents in the future.
So, yes, do you agree that India promises but China delivers?
Sir, in some of the aspects, it can be said so because, sir, China is a manufacturing hub and it has all the necessary raw materials and the supply chains which needs to be which are needed in any initiative. However, sir, India is also delivering in its own front. As we consider the defense initiative, India is doing so. Sir, India on the maritime front is the net security provider, and we are also doing humanitarian diplomacy. So India is also delivering, sir. However, we need to
Why has
move.
Ranveer Allahabadia not been arrested by now? He should have been arrested.
Uh, Sir, the Allahabadia case is primarily based on the obscenity content. And sir, as far as the Indian laws goes, this is a very subjective word. So, sir, the honorable courts have not been able to arrive at a consensus that what can be considered as obscene and what cannot be. However, sir, the courts have given very strict guidelines to Mr. Allahabadia and also to the digital influencers that to limit their way of humor and focus more on the public morality and the
Okay.
societal morality of India.
Now I make you the Telecom Secretary of India. So try to regulate OTTs. Up to what extent are you going to do it?
Sir, the extent should be that the artistic freedom is balanced by the public morality
Hmm.
aspect because, sir, the freedom is also necessary for the artist
Hmm.
while the public order should also be maintained. So, sir, we can allow at a certain level to go things uncontrolled. But, sir, we'll have to put some restrictions like the adult content. If it is, then it needs to be clearly mentioned and the
Being a
guidelines should
chemical
be.
engineer, now let us say Kumbh is over. How do you deal with Ganga now? Chemical engineer ho tum. Put some chemicals in it, whatever approach you want. I'm giving you a free hand. Improve Ganga.
Sir, first of all, would be the uh, fast and effective implementation of the SCPs that has to be done. And secondly, sir, the geotube technologies through the process of ozonation. So the chemical engineers involved must be involved in those things, because the ozonation is a very fast and effective method to reduce the water pollution. And secondly, sir, the UPPCB must work in collaboration with the CPCB and the NGT to reduce the pollution level of the Ganga.
Will that
And thirdly,
approach change with respect to Yamuna?
certainly not, sir, because both the rivers are polluted to a very high extent, and Yamuna is the tributary of Ganga. So Namami Gange program, along with these agencies, needs to work in a collaborative way. And the unique case of Yamuna is that it has pollutants coming from Haryana and other adjoining states also, sir. So we need to focus on those things also.
Hmm. But what about the Uttarakhand High Court judgment, which said that these rivers are humans? Should UP also do that? Allahabad High Court should also do that, kya?
Uh, Sir, this statement primarily emerges from our religious views about rivers, that we consider them very pious and religious. So we can say that. However, sir, even if we are doing that technologically and uh, environmentally, we should focus more on the rivers, because they need to be clean and the biodiversity needs to be preserved. So the angle should be, the more focus should be on that angle rather than proclaiming them as humans or something
What
religious.
do you prefer, Allahabad High Court or Prayagraj High Court?
Uh, Sir, as far as my preference goes, both are fine with me. However, sir, Allahabad High Court is sounds better, because that this has been my lived experience. That is as
Why
far as
Prayagraj?
sir, it can be so. However, sir, that depends on the court's discretion to change its name and not on the state machinery. And sir, it is not that much of a necessary thing to do, because sir, naming and renaming is does not get any tangible results for us.
So you
Rather, the
mean to
focus should
say
be.
that your state government spent almost 300 to 400 crores on renaming Allahabad to Prayagraj. So that is wasteful expenditure that could have been spent in education or somewhere. Do you agree?
Uh, Sir, I don't agree completely, because, sir, if because the renaming was done through public consensus, sir, and it had the public support also. So, thus the state government did so. However, sir, certainly that money could have been spent on building hospitals and focusing on education also. But, sir, this can be said for most of the other things, that we can divert funds from this or this. So, sir, I think that whatever was
इसमें
done,
एक
it
लाइन
was.
ऐड कर देना, तुम्हारा आंसर सारा ठीक है। इसमें बस ये ऐड जरूर करना सर, विद दैट वी कैन आल्सो गिव दोज सिटीजंस अ प्लेज that they will make Prayagraj a better city in terms of living also, in terms of law abidance also. You know, they'll become law abiding citizens. They'll not openly defecate. If they want a better name, they should become better citizens also. We can just give
Yes,
them a moral or an ethical pledge, sir.
yes,
है ना? और वैसे भी स्वच्छता स्वच्छता भी पढ़ा था मैंने तुम्हारे डैफ में, या किसी और डैफ में पढ़ा था क्या स्वच्छता के बारे में?
मेरे टाइप में तो नहीं होता स्वच्छता।
आपके डैफ में नहीं है क्या? वो दूसरे वाले के उसमें होगा।
जी।
ओके 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 ओके, वेरी फाइन। हैव आई आस्क्ड यू अबाउट फेलियर ऑफ? हाँ, वो मैं पूछ चुका। आसियान भी मैंने पूछ लिया, एक्ट ईस्ट पूछ लिया, काफी कुछ पूछ लिया है मैंने। यूएनएससी रिफॉर्म चाहिए। डू वी रियली नीड यूएनएससी रिफॉर्म्स, एंड डू वी नीड अ सीट इन यूएनएससी P5?
Certainly, sir, because the present UN system is kind of anachronistic, and sir, it represents
डोंट
the
यूज द
World
वर्ड
War
काइंड
II.
ऑफ। एक लड़की
Yes,
तो
sir.
काइंडा काइंडा करने लग गई थी कल परसों, आई एम अ काइंडा बॉय, आई एम अ काइंडा पर्सन। मैंने कहा बहन ऐसे नहीं करना है ना? नॉट काइंड ऑफ इज नॉट गुड इंग्लिश। हाँ बोलो,
Yes, sir.
फिर से बोलो। डू वी नीड यूएनएससी रिफॉर्म, सुयश?
Yes, sir, we do need UNSC reforms, because, sir, the present UN system is anachronistic, and, sir, it represents the World War II world order. However, sir, the present world order is more multilateral, because we see the rise of India and some of the other democracies like Germany, France. So they do deserve seat in the UNSC P5. France is already there, and India, Germany, Brazil, they are also a very good contender.
What is
And so,
samosa caucus?
uh, sorry, sir, I'll have to read about that. I have heard about this, but I'm not exactly sure.
Hmm. सो एस जयशंकर की एक स्टेटमेंट तुम्हें दे रहा हूँ समोसा कॉकस के लिए, दैट इंडिया एंजॉयज अ बाय पार्टिसन सपोर्ट इन अमेरिका। तो मैं समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। वो बोलता है कि भाई, एस जयशंकर बोलता है कि यार चाहे डेमोक्रेट्स आए चाहे रिपब्लिकन्स आए, चाहे ट्रम्प आए, ट्रम्प 2.0 आए, हमें कोई परवाह नहीं, हमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बिकॉज अमेरिका के रिलेशंस इंडिया के साथ अच्छे ही रहेंगे। और ये बात कुछ हद तक ठीक भी है। ओबामा डेमोक्रेट, ओबामा 2.0 डेमोक्रेट, उसके बाद ट्रम्प 1.0 रिपब्लिकन, उसके बाद जो बाइडन 1.0 अगेन डेमोक्रेट, उसके बाद ट्रम्प 2.0 रिपब्लिकन। but there has not been any considerable discontinuity or changes with respect to America's policy towards India.
Yes, sir.
On the domestic front, they may have had हाँ
Yes,
थोड़ा
sir.
सा stringent stance हो जाता है with respect to CATSA, the tariff war, the weaponization of dollar, ये सारी चीजें आ जाती हैं। But otherwise, all the presidents, past four presidents have been really cordial with India. Plus,
Certainly, sir.
चाहे रिपब्लिकन्स हो चाहे डेमोक्रेट्स हो, हमारे बंदे तो हैं ही है वहां पर। सुयश नंबर दूं? मतलब मेरे पास कोई जगह काटने को नहीं है। आई डोंट हैव एनी प्लेस फ्रॉम वेयर आई कैन डिडक्ट इवन अ सिंगल मार्क।
नहीं नहीं,
on
ऐसा
your
तो नहीं होगा
bad
सर
day
अभी।
on your bad day you will have 190, 190 plus. On
थैंक यू
your
सो मच
good
सर।
day you can, breach that magic number of 200, 215, something like that, 205, 10। I think you are a perfect यूपीएससी मटेरियल।
यस
बट
सर।
जो मैंने चाहा तुमने वही बोला। मतलब इतना सा भी कोई वो नहीं था, एक दो जगह था, वो हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे।
यस सर।
तुम्हें कुछ पूछना है?
सर बस यही चीज मेंटेन रहे पूरे वीक एंड ट्वेंटी
यस,
एट को भी।
यस। कोई तुमने और, मतलब मेरे हिसाब से एज एन एल्डर ब्रदर, तुम मेरे छोटे भाई की तरह हो, मैं ये सजेशन दूंगा। तुम्हें अब कोई मॉक देने की जरूरत नहीं है, कोई डैप देने की जरूरत नहीं है, तुम्हें खुद को टेस्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है।
यस सर।
मतलब डिस्कशंस के लिए ऐसे कि सर आज मुझे टेल मी अबाउट दी पॉलिटिकल कंट्रोवर्शियल इश्यूज, या टेल मी अबाउट दीज इश्यूज, उसके लिए तुम मेरे पास 24 घंटे आ सकते हो। मेरा नंबर है, तुम इनसे ले लेना व्हाट्सएप पर। यू पिंग मी 24/7। तुम्हें लगे एक दिन पहले, इनफैक्ट व्हाई विल यू पिंग मी, आई विल पिंग यू। मैं
नो
तुम्हारा
सर।
नंबर ले मैं तुम्हारा नंबर इनसे लेकर मैं पिंग करूंगा। तुम मुझे इतने उम्दा लगे, तुम्हारा, यू विल जस्टिफाई योर नेम, तुम, यू विल कम आउट विथ फ्लाइंग कलर।